everyone, my name is Nico Higgins, and if you didn't already know, and if you did, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing a full face of the Queen of Makeup, the Queen of Color, Danessa Myricks. I came up with this really fun, like, frosty, I don't want to say Y2K, but like Y2K vampire goth vibes. I don't really know, but I just thought let's round up everything. I was pretty much able to use only Danessa in this video, but I think I love how the look turned out, and if you want to see me how I did it, keep watching, and don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. All the products in today's video will be listed down below for you to check out, and it is a commission code. But with that, let's get into me with no makeup. Hello everyone, we are doing some Danessa Myricks beauty today. I just was like figuring out what I wanted to do, and I had a ton of new stuff from Danessa, and I was like, you know what, let's support the Queen of Makeup and do a full face of Danessa Myricks. I've done one of these on my TikTok before, and people seem to like it, so let's do it here. Starting off, we're doing the Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. This stuff is amazing at controlling your oils throughout the day. I will do about like this much, if you guys can see, and just rub it in all over my face. I find it doesn't make your skin feel dry, it just makes your skin feel matte, which is exactly what you want. I don't like a primer that's too dry and that just really sucks the life out of your skin. I prefer something much more, it mattifies but doesn't dry your skin out, if that makes sense. And then continuing priming, we're going to take the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder. I use the shade 1.5. Also, a lot of these products, I think almost all these products were sent to me, but before I was on her PR list, I bought all of this stuff. I was a fan of the Yummy Blurring Balm Powder for a while, but I just kind of stopped using it because I still prefer my MAC mattifying primer, but this stuff is still pretty good. This one has a tint, but there also is the translucent one. And I'm using their Teardrop brush, their Kabuki thing. I actually quite like this brush. I think it works pretty well, and I'll just kind of wipe it across the skin, and I'll add a little bit of coverage. You can use this just on its own as foundation, but I have some other stuff for her that I'm going to use for actual foundation. So we're just gonna blend it across the skin. You don't want to use too much. I find if I use too much, it can kind of pill a little bit. You just want a smooth, even layer. I'm also just trying to figure out what to do with my mirror because I cannot see out of the one I normally use, which is fine. You know, it's YouTube. I gotta make do. But I think Danessa Myricks Beauty, just speaking of inclusivity, is one of the brands that truly, like, I think is inclusive, because even past like just their shades, which they make really great pale and deep shades. I think Danessa's always really trying to bring in like new people who are typically not kind of represented in the beauty industry and brings them to the forefront. And Danessa herself is such a sweetheart. I've had the pleasure of meeting her before. I actually went to a model call for them, I think like 2 years ago. I haven't been chosen for anything, which is absolutely fine. But no, I truly love their casting, and I think Danessa herself is such a sweet woman. And that's why I always like try my best to support her. Like if I'm choosing something to use, I usually will gravitate towards her brand because also the products are bomb. They're usually very unique for the industry. I think she's always trying to push ingredients forward, which I absolutely love. So that is that blended out. I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to try and use one of the pomades. I have the Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette. I'm going to use the shade Core here, this like orangey shade, as my color correction. I'm going to use the pomade. Maybe it'll work. No, that's like too orange for me. Okay, I'm actually just going to take my Huda Beauty color corrector and just use that really quick. And I don't have a loose powder from them, so I'm just going to stick with my tried and true, my MAC Studio Fix foundation powder, which I am on the hunt for a dupe. Trying to find one because this is my absolute favorite, and I need to either find a dupe or buy up the entire stock that exists. I have one shop that I'm looking at right now to buy some from. But yeah, so we are primed. Also, I just love how this brush comes with a little holder. We're primed. I can put that away. What are we gonna do next? Foundation, or I guess skin tint. We're gonna take the Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. This was just sent to me. I'm in the shade 1.5 as well. Shade number 1 is paler, but it's a lot more yellow. This one has more of that rosy undertone, which I love. And I'm just gonna put some onto the back of my hand. And if you're my same shade, my actual shade match, if I'm not trying to go a little bit lighter, is the shade 2. But you guys know I like to be really pale. So I just take it on the back of my hand. I actually will kind of get some on my finger and smooth it into the skin. Also, apologies about my last video. I realized after I filmed it, my entire face was out of the frame for so much of it. And I appreciate all the comments. I really do. I don't take offense. If you're giving me genuine constructive criticism, I appreciate it so much because I want my channel to be better for you guys. I want the production to be good. So as long as you're not mean about it, I absolutely appreciate all the comments telling me, move the damn camera up, because I don't know what I was doing for that whole thing. So I'm trying to be really good now about making sure my face stays on the camera, because you know that's like my moneymaker. But now I'm going to take the Yummy Face 1.0 brush. It's like this teardrop shape. I really like it actually. It smooths the product in really well. And I will just tap it into the skin. And this, even though it is a skin tint, I think it does deliver a pretty good amount of coverage. And I'm so glad they finally sent this to me, because I was planning on buying it for a while, but I just don't need more skin products. But this one is so fab. It's like hydrating but not wet looking or like greasy looking. It blends in really well, gives you enough coverage. And I literally just one time rubbed it into my face when I was getting my laser done, or like after when I had a little bit of facial hair, and it really just blurred the skin so well. I'm also trying to make sure when I'm using my mirror I'm not blocking the camera either. But yeah, absolutely love this stuff. It wears well. It feels great on the skin. It feels very juicy and hydrating, but not oily, which is exactly what I look for in any type of like foundation or skin product. I don't like to use like all mattifying products because I like to go in with some mattifying powder. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, there we go. And then for concealer, actually I have a little bit more on my hand. Let me cover this pimple up. Sorry y'all, I got a PR package. Very exciting new half magic stuff. But yeah, I'm just finishing blending that in, just making sure it's really one with the skin. And then next we're gonna take concealer. I am obsessed with the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex concealer. I'm in the shade 1. It's the most beautiful pale pinky shade. It's really hard to find shades like this on the market, so I am so happy to have this one. It's definitely one of the palest concealers on the market. I will say though, the brush annoys me just because I use a lot of concealer, but it is more for like pinpoint concealing, so I get why they did it. Just for me, I'm using it for my entire face, so I like to have a bigger brush. With this though, I am gonna blend it in with a brush, but what brush is the question? I think I'm gonna take this House Labs brush, and I just like to pat it into the skin, just like this, right into the under eyes, bring it down in that like triangle formation. For blush, I'm trying to decide which one I wanna go for. I have a couple of the shades Depotted in here. I have Red Velvet. I think this is, what's the purple called? I don't know, it's the purple shade. And then I have one of the warm, like bronzy colors. I think for today though, I wanna go in with Red Velvet. It's just such a gorgeous shade. Absolutely love the blush formula. It was one of the first Danessa products I ever bought. Super pigmented, so I just take it on the back of my hand. And then I'll just take whatever brush I have and really get it saturated into the brush, but you don't need too much, so kind of starts looking like that. And then I'll just go in on the cheek, slowly build up the color. Like, you do not have to be scared of these bright shades. You just want to kind of work slowly and build up the color so it's not too intense and, you know, in your face right away. Like, that is so gorgeous. And it really does blur the skin you're putting it on, which is one of the biggest reasons why I love it. It has like that Upsilite technology, which is oil controlling, I believe. Like that's its claim to fame. But I've been using this forever, this formula at least. They sent these new colors over to me, and I have been obsessed with them. I just don't have the space for all the packaging, that's why I depotted them. And it's also just nice with like blushes and stuff where I can just see all the colors I have instead of having to like go between a bunch of different brands. But yeah, I'll just take it like that. And it's okay if it's a little bright in the beginning because when we powder everything, it's gonna look a bit more normal. So that is blush laid down. Now for contour, I think I'm gonna wait to do it after the blush because I'm gonna use the Groundwork palette, and these kind of function a lot as a powder, and I just think I'll be fine. I'm also just gonna take the brush I use for foundation and blend out the edges of the blush so we don't have any harsh lines. And then I'm gonna quickly just powder my face, and then we're gonna move on to brows in like 1 second. So BRB. I powdered this half of my face, and now we're gonna move on to do some brows. That's why I really love this Groundwork palette. Now, you may look at this and be like, girl, you've never used it. I actually have depotted mine. This is a second palette I have. And I think for brows, I'm trying to figure out what shade I want to use. I think I'm going to use the shade Sculpted up here. So as you're looking at it, you're like, why are there two different pans? One side is like a pomade, the bigger pan, and then the other one is a powder. So I'm going to use the pomade side of Sculpted. We're going to use that to build up some brow. So I'm just picking it up on an angled brush, and I'm just going to draw on an eyebrow. Period. That's that easy. It actually really isn't that easy. It's taken a long time to be able to do a brow that clean. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, I'm not mad at myself. I hate doing my brows. Okay, my brows are looking a little uneven and crazy, so now is when I will go in and kind of shape them up. I'll just take my mirror and kind of wipe away the edges. This is why I do it with my brows onto a wet base, so I can still kind of maneuver them. Now for the top portion, I'm going to take my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer because it matches my skin better, and just kind of make them a bit thinner. This process is always so annoying. I hate doing my brows. That's why most of the time I don't do them for videos because it eats up a lot of the time. But I think that's good enough. Next, I'm going to take one of my favorite products from Danessa. It's their Underrated. This is the Vision Cream Cover. It's like a, just basically full coverage concealer. I'm just going to take a little pump of this, like just that much. And I'm going to use that to carve out my eyebrows and clean them up on the bottom. This is just such a good, like full coverage, like 2016 style concealer. Like, I will just go right underneath, get those brows nice and sharp. And I'll also use this as a little bit of like kind of an eye base. And just tapping it in. And you really don't need a lot. I will just keep working from the back of my hand. And then just blend downwards. Perfect. Like we have one eyebrow there, and then now I'm just going to do the other one and match them up. Now that they're pretty even, I'm just going to take that same brush I used for my concealer and pat it out. Make sure the concealer doesn't have any harsh edges, prevent any creasing, and then while I'm still looking down and not trying to make my eyes crease, I'm just going to take some more loose powder and set it. Also, Danessa Myricks does have a loose powder. I just haven't tried it. I do want to try it though, but again, loose powder is one thing I am like always secured with. I also don't know if it's talc free. If it's talc free, I probably won't like it just because I like a very, very matte finish. And talc free powders usually cannot deliver that, which is fine for most people, but for somebody who is crazy about being matte like I am, I need talc. I need talc, okay? Alrighty, I'm back. I'm just like powdered and everything. Now, I want to do a little bit of contouring. I'm gonna take the shade Stone. No, actually, I'm gonna take the shade Chiseled. I think it's a little bit lighter up here. I'm gonna take the pomade just on a brush and do a little bit of sculpting to my cheeks. Actually, I think this shade is a little bit too orangey for me, and I don't know why I just tapped off a non-powder product. Put a little bit on my nose. I don't know if I necessarily think, yeah, this is not my skin tone. This is not like a good shade for me. It's too dark and too orange, so I'm just gonna buff that out. And you know what, let's just ignore contour. We don't really need it today. We'll just keep on with the blush. Cute. Not really the palette's fault, it's just not my shade. Next, what do I want to do? Let's start building the eye. I'm very excited. I think I'm gonna do like just kind of a cool tone smoky eye with a pop of some color. We have some color fixes. We have some of the Colorfix Stix to play with. I also have the Lightwork Volume 6 palette here. So let's get to sculpting. I'm actually gonna take the shade Chiseled now. I'm gonna find a good synthetic brush. I'm actually just using all the Danessa Myricks and my Keiko brushes. These are amazing. I truly recommend them. I bought these myself. And I would just use these exclusively if I had more of them. So maybe I will buy an extra set, but we're just taking the shade Chiseled, the pomade side, and I'm just using that to kind of start building up some dimension to the eye. Just kind of sweeping it through the crease, going outwards, kind of my normal shtick. These just blend really easily. They're super soft. I'm gonna try and get in a little bit closer so you guys can see. Just blending it through. Nothing too interesting, honestly. Let's see how it just offers a little bit of contouring to the eye. Now, I don't really use this palette that much because it's a very good like one and done palette, and I like to use a bunch of different things. I also depotted it. It's really great for a pro kit because you can use it for brows, face, contour, eyes, all of that, and you have so many different textures. But for me, I just wish there was a cooler, lighter shade for contour for me. But it's not that big of a deal. I have other contours, and Danessa actually makes a great contour. She has these little contour balms. I tried them a while ago. Don't have it anymore, unfortunately. I'm now gonna take the kind of cooler, darker shade of Stone, and I'm just gonna kind of place that in my crease area, just to darken it up and add more dimension. Again, I'm taking the pomade side. I'm kind of just gonna do all the pomades, and then we'll start building up the powders. But yeah, these just go on super easily. There is a bit of a learning curve, I feel, with like figuring out how to use the pomade, but basically just use synthetic brushes. It's gonna be your best bet. And I like to kind of tap and blend rather than just like sweeping it on. Again, since it has that like that kind of oil control quality about it, that matte look, it is going to blur the skin and kind of offer a little bit of seamless blending. I mean, you guys can see I'm not really doing very much blending. It's just kind of doing it on its own, but I think it's a good place. I want to take the shade Quiet Storm. This is the Colorfix. I haven't tried this shade yet, and it won't open. They sent this to me a while ago. my dream is to get that Colorfix bundle where they have like every single shade. I would just absolutely D-word. I don't know if I can say D-I-E on here. But I'm just gonna take this again, maybe on a blender brush like this, and you really just need a little bit. I'm gonna really pack it in there. Like, oh my god, just like, oh, it's so good. And just start building it up in the crease. Maybe we do like a little halo eye situation. I'm just gonna take that shade, blend it out on the edges. I guess I am just gonna use all Danessa Myricks my Keiko brushes. I wasn't even really thinking about it, but they truly are like the perfect brushes for her products, and I'm sure she formulated it that way, or made it that way. You don't formulate brushes, but designed it, I guess is the better word. Just gonna take it on the inner corner. And color fixes are great because they're literally gonna last all day, and then you can go on top to blend a little bit more with a powder eyeshadow. I think we're at a good place now. I'm gonna take the powder side of Chiseled, and I'm gonna use the same brush we used earlier just to blend out that gray, the Quiet Storm, and just get a seamless blend. It's looking really cool. I haven't done a shape like this on my eyes in a hot minute. But yeah, the Colorfix like liquids last forever, both like on the eyes and actually like the product itself. I've had some of mine for years. I probably shouldn't say that, but it is the truth, and they're my favorite, hands down, liquid paint. I like actually remember when Danessa Myricks was announced in Sephora. I think it was around 2020. I was so excited because I saw that they had paints and I had never seen something like that before on the market. And let's just say since then, every single brand seems to have a liquid or cream eyeshadow. And not that Danessa invented it, but I definitely will say she had a big part in that becoming so popular. Now I'm gonna take the shade Bark. What is this? There's like some crystals on it. I'm gonna take the shade Bark in the pomade side, and I'm just going to use that on the same brush we used for the Colorfix to blend it out. I'm going to make sure they're as symmetrical as possible because my mirror is not working with me right now. I'm going to take the shade Sandstone. It's the really pale color. I'm just going to use that also as a way to diffuse. I'm also going to take it underneath my brows. More of the shade Stone as the final transition shade. Kind of just building up all the cool tone shades on my eyes, basically. But now I'm going in with all the powder versions. Okay, cute. We're looking very seductive. Now let's take the shade, I kind of want to do the shade Lilac Flame on the center of the lid. It's this really beautiful, like, super iridescent shade. We have this one from Refer, which seems to have some yellow on it. And I'm just gonna take that all over the lid. You can see like the sparkle level is crazy. And this is gonna be used in like the center area where the gray ends, and then I'm just gonna tap it into the gray a bit. I mean, this stuff just stays all day. It's so sparkly. I hope you guys can see it on camera. It's sometimes hard to get glitter and stuff to read on camera, but in person, just so stunning. I'm just using a mixture of like tapping and pressing and pulling the shadow so it gets a pretty even coat. I think that is pretty good. Now I want to do a little bit of like white in the waterline, so I'm gonna take the shade Nude 1. I'm gonna tap it right in the center. Now, when you're putting this in your actual waterline, you want to use a very tiny amount because it will like blur your vision a little bit, which I know sounds bad. I don't think you're supposed to put these in your actual like eye, but I'm doing it and I don't recommend you do it at home. Like I said, my eyes are already watering. I'm just gonna blend it with the gray shade we used. Ooh, yeah, that definitely has my eye kind of tingling a bit, so maybe don't do that. But is that gonna stop me? No, because I already committed to the bit. Make the eyes look really nice and wide. Now I just want to add a little bit more depth, so I'm gonna take the shade Tourmaline. I'm gonna take the pomade side and just add a little bit of that to the inner corner and then the outer corner to create a bit of a wing. I would use her winged liner, but I don't have it, so that's just why. Kind of use it to pull the eye up a bit, and you just need really light tapping motions with this. Nothing too crazy. It goes on almost immediately, like on contact. And I would just say work slowly to build up the color, because especially if you're using black, it just can get really gnarly really quickly. So I'm gonna add it a little bit up in here. And then the same brush we used, I'm gonna take the, what's the darkest shade we have in here? I'm gonna take the shade Bark and just kind of blend that edge. I think the actual like powder matte eyeshadow portion is done. I now just want to go in with some fun shimmers. So let's see what we have. I do have this fun Colorfix stick in this green shade. I don't know if I want to use it. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I don't know where that would exactly fit. I should probably, I'm actually gonna get one of the purple, one of the purples. What is this? Yeah, I think this shade will work. Look at that. I think that's perfect. We're gonna do that right on the center of the eye. Actually, just all over where we put the Colorfix. Yeah, that's gorgeous. And I just like to tap these. If you put too much, it will get a little bit like chunky, which I don't want that. I just want to do a nice coating of it. And then I want to figure out a shimmer for the brow bone. Actually, I think I know which one I want to do. It's this one. It's this really pretty, like, champagne-y shade. I'm gonna take some of that and just go across. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm gonna go across the brow bone with and sweep that over the brow bone. Try not to get it in the brow, but it's not the end of the world. I'm actually gonna put a little bit of this one pink shade right on top in the center of the eye to give even more glitter effect. Now, I don't know if I really like the eye effect I did. I don't think Danessa has any she doesn't have any pencil liner, so I'm just gonna take this Makeup Forever one and just line my eyes with it. Very cute. I like this eye. I'm now gonna go off camera and just like do my lashes. So I'm gonna mascara, curl them, and whatever, but I think that is the eye all complete. BRB. I think it's such a cute look. Now for lips, Danessa doesn't have very many. I don't think she really has even like a lipstick. But what's great about this palette though is you can use it as like lip liner and everything. So I think I'm gonna take the shade Sculpted again, what I used for my brows. And I'm gonna use that as lip liner, the pomade side. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna go in with Stone all over and then we'll deepen up with Sculpted. I think that's just what the vibe's gonna be. Okay, this is actually getting annoying to do for like a really precise lip. So I'm gonna take the same shade I use on my eyes, Quiet Storm, the gray. Maybe we'll do like a gray lip liner. I don't know. I'm just gonna do the same thing, but with Quiet Storm this time. You do have to work very quickly, obviously, which is not the most what's the word? Easiest thing, user-friendly to do. But for makeup artists who need like a lip look to last, this stuff is going nowhere. You can also put a gloss on top and it's not gonna smudge. Do I recommend this for every day? No, it's honestly kind of annoying to do. I'm gonna take some of Nude 1 though, and I'm gonna use that in the center, and then maybe we'll do some of like the Colorfix stick on. Okay, I need more than that. I'll do some of the Colorfix stick on top and we'll do like a glitter lip. I think that could be really cute. Because I don't want it too matchy-matchy. I want to try like another shade. Love this. Very like statue. I don't know, marble statue. Now for lips, I'm like, what shade do I want to do? Oh, I think I want to do the taupey. Where's the taupey shade? This is the Colorfix Foil. I think this is number 1. Yeah, let's do this shade just all over the center. Oh my gosh. This looks crazy. I love it. And I think with that, we have completed the full face of Danessa Myricks. I don't want to move my lips too much because I don't want it to start cracking. I was trying to check if there's any other products I've been meaning to use. No, I think that's it. Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. I'm in love with how this turned out. Danessa is a genius. She has one of the best makeup lines. I think she's a great woman. I just love supporting a company that I think supports the whole world and all the people who are not seen in beauty. And the products are just A1, so that's why I did the full face. But let me know what you guys think, what you want to pick up. And then as always, all the products are listed down below on my Shop My. It is commissioned, but it's just a link that you can shop through. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I don't know. Let me know what video you want me to do next, but I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.